Hello my band crew and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to do a non-scripted discussion on the Toys for Bob Labs modes in Crash Team Rumble. I know it's really cheesy when YouTubers do this, but a bunch of the channels that I'm subscribed to, I've seen them do this and they actually do get an increase in their subscribers. Nearly 97% of my views come from people who are not subscribed. And if you enjoy my content and come here, I would really appreciate a subscription. It would mean the world to me. I know this comes off as like e-begging, but I've been making Crash Bandicoot content weekly for over 3 years now, and my subscription count and views don't seem to reflect the work that I put into this channel. I really love the Crash Bandicoot series. I love theorizing. I love the lore, the characters. I just love Crash. It's like a staple of my life. I've been playing the games and just like loving the series for almost as long as the franchise has existed. And my subscription count doesn't really reflect where I think it needs to be. So, all the gushing out of the way, let's talk about Toys for Bob Labs. So Season 2, we have the Toys for Bob Labs. And these modes, in my opinion, are very lacking. I understand that they're just like ideas that Toys for Bob are throwing around and they're getting us to play test them for them. But I would much prefer them to focus on some single player stuff. I know that this game is entirely their attempt at having a pure online beat 'em up game, but Crash Bandicoot has always been a single player game. Like, you've always had a single player mode since the inception of the series, and this is the first time that we haven't had that. So instead of all these random modes that they're making, I would like them to focus on some single player modes. I saw in a data leak that a supposed horde mode was coming out, and I got really excited, and then nothing really came from that. So I'm hoping it comes out in Season 3, or in the future beyond that. But like I said, we're going to be discussing the modes on Toys for Bob Labs. So the first one we had was Capture the Flag, and those rounds honestly lasted way shorter than the normal competitive modes. You just grab the flag and you bring it to the bank, and that's it. Obviously, that's what a Capture the Flag is, but it would have been, I think, more enjoyable if, you know how we have the race levels in the party mode, and how it like expands the map so much larger than it actually is, so you can actually have like the bumpers and stuff out deep in the water. And I think that would have been a perfect way to do Capture the Flag. Have a flag way out on one side and have another flag way out on the other side. Have like all the different pillars and stuff you could climb up, and have it so similar to Dig It, have it so like all of your members have to have the flag in the designated spot for X amount of time. So like in Dig It, there's a couple of the bones that require 3 people. So yeah, maybe just have 3, not 4. And just have the map like expand way bigger than it normally is. And I think it would be much more enjoyable, because as it stands right now, we all know the maps. The maps aren't really that big. The newer ones that we've got, the Jazz one and Waist Deep, those are larger, but for a Capture the Flag mode, they need to be twice that size. So the Capture the Flag mode, I think, would be greatly improved if they expanded the maps. And then we have the Wumpa Whale. The Wumpa Whale, all you do is get the Wumpa Whale, and it just you win. Like, I don't even understand the point of that mode. They literally just took the Wumpa Whale and they threw it into a competitive mode. There was barely any thought put into that. I don't even understand why you would want the Wumpa Whale outside of the water. I would just say, axed that mode entirely. That didn't really... Again, you guys might enjoy it. You think it's funny to see a whale flopping around and giving you Wumpa fruit. So I might be speaking out of turn saying nobody likes it. But I personally didn't find it all that fun or innovative at all. And now we have the last 3 modes that are currently available to us. Bank swap, I thought, was a fun idea. There isn't really a way that I could think to improve it that just like jumps out at me, like capture the flag, expanding the arenas. Bank swap, it'd be cool if perhaps a bunch of the characters in the game could be the one to trigger it. Like perhaps they have to stand on button, like how you have the gem platforms, and you have, if you get 3, a cluster of gem platforms, you boost by 30%. Say there's a set of 6 gems standing around, and your characters have to step on 3 of them to lock it in and swap the bank. Or maybe even just 2, that way you could have 2 people fighting it out over the switches, and 2 people trying to score with the bank. That's just one idea that came off the top of my head. The bank swap has potential to be good. It's way better than the Wumpa Whale. Score to boost, I actually never got to play. It was available for those 4 days. And something about the lab mode that really needs to be improved upon is the lobbies. If people don't like the games, they're not going to be coming into the lobbies. I honestly sat in Score to Boost. I sat in the lobby. No joke. I timed it. Over 35 minutes. And it was only me and one other person named Chunky Manatee. And we just sat there and waited and waited and waited. And no one connected. Nobody came into the lobby. So I never even got to play that one. So I can't even tell you what it was about or how I would improve it, because I never even got to play that one. That's a big issue, I feel, with that. I understand that you have to, for Toys for Bob, they would have to have each of the modes. You'd have to program a bot for each of the modes. But that, like, defeats the purpose of it to me. Like, wouldn't it be better if you could just focus, like, they're doing all these different modes. Like, cut out the Wumpa Whale, because that wasn't anything, and just get your bots to work for specific modes. Like if we had a capture the flag mode like the way I was describing, and they programmed the bots for that mode specifically rather than doing no bots for anything, I think it would have worked much better. Like I said, I can't really speak on Score to Boost, unfortunately. And then that just leads us to the most recent one that we have had. It's still ongoing right now as of this recording, Entrance Mode. It again took me quite a while to be able to connect, and when I did connect, it was interesting. It was better than the bank swap and the Wumpa Whale for sure. It's on the ground. It looks like tiles, and it has Entrance's face on it. And the tiles actually move around, like on the ground, so it's like a projected light of a tiles that you need to stand on, and it moves around the arena. And when your characters are standing on it, if you say you have one character from your team on the map and no one else is on it, then you start getting points. If another character jumps on the map, now it's equal and nobody gets points. So whoever's team has more characters / players on the current floor with Entrance's face on it, they start getting points. I don't understand why they decided it to be entranced mode, because you're not really hypnotizing anyone. It's not really fifth dimension-y, so it doesn't really tie into entrance at all, other than the fact that his face is on the floor, which I should probably go back and say Chick and Stew were on the capture the flag mode, which I enjoyed a lot. This showing that the game takes place further in the timeline. It's not just right after Crash Bandicoot 3 like Crash 4 was, because we have Entrance and we have Chicken Stew. I don't know if Score to Boost had anything related to future Crash Bandicoot games, because like I said, I didn't get to play it, and I didn't look it up online because frankly the other modes haven't been giving me all that much enjoyment, so I wasn't really interested on looking it up. So, entrance mode, while fun, I think it could be improved upon by having like actual characters attack you while you're trying to get to certain locations. For example, since Entrance is there, we have already had boss modes where Uka Uka shoots lasers out of his eyes, or when you're trying to attack the Wumpa Bat, you have the other bats flying around with the TNT, and when you're trying to get the TNT and stuff. So I see no reason why we couldn't have enemies of some sort attack while you are in Entrance. So maybe they could have Entrance standing up on a podium way in the middle of the arena, and we could have palette swapped Entrances that are smaller than him, that we could have new characters. So like a blue, a red, a yellow, all sorts of different colored Entrances. And they could be hypnotizing your characters. Like say it's a team of 4 versus a team of 4, and you're trying to run to the platform to get points. Have an Entrance clone hypnotize one of your characters, and when he hypnotizes you, let's just say that inverses your controls. So now left is right, up is down, all that good stuff. So it hinders you and you can't go to the platform. And the way that you would be able to get healed would be if your teammate runs over to you, similar to the Dig It mode where you need multiple people to pick up the bones, and it'll show the green lines connecting to the bone. Say you need 2 people to run over to you to dispel the entranced, the hypnotism of you. I just think adding little bits and nuggets to the lore and the franchise would be fun like that. Like I said, you could have Entrance clones, and that would be a new for the series. Pretty much, I enjoy what they're trying to do, but I think they're handling it very poorly right now. I've seen a couple people say, well, it's a mode that they don't even need to give us, so why complain about it? To which I say, if you're going to give us new modes like this, make them worthwhile. I keep going back to the Wumpa Whale and saying how disappointed I was in it, but man, it didn't even feel like a new mode. It just felt like a joke. Why waste our time with that? And the lobby reflects that. If the modes aren't fun and they don't add anything to the game, no one's going to want to play them. And then because they're not programming AI for those modes, we don't even get to play them. We just sit in the lobby and wait forever. So, Band of Crew, that was me discussing the lab modes in Crash Team Rumble. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still watching, you're one of the greats. We enjoy you sticking it out to the end. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it would mean the world to me if you subscribed. If you weren't a subscriber, I want my community to grow. I want this to grow. My Band of Crew to grow. You have a great weekend. Take care.